Okay, all right. So hello everyone. I just thought maybe we should just continue to the next subtopic, which is about defecation. Ataupun in bahasa we call it penyah tinjaan. Because you might be wondering, like, what happened to those of the other food that is not being digested, all of undigested food that cannot be absorbed by the small intestine. What happened to it? All right. So the answer is this process. All this undigested food, dead cell, epithelial cells, fiber, and water, it will actually continue their journey. It will enter the large intestine. Okay. So, and then when it's enter large intestine, peristaltic action will again occur, and two processes that will happen. Number one is we call it absorption of water and vitamins, and number two is formation of feces. Okay, so let's run to the first one, which is the absorption of water and vitamins. So what happened in the large intestine? There are few components, there are few substance that actually has the ability to be absorbed back into the body. Okay, number one, like water, mineral salts, and metabolic byproducts such of some bacteria such as vitamin B, vitamin K, and folic acid. These are some of the substance that can actually be absorbed by the large intestine. Okay, like let's say if you don't drink enough water, so this water will coming from the food that is not being undigested, it actually will be absorbed back into the body. So that's why it will actually contribute to constipation. All right. So if you do have constipation problem, if you go to the doctor, maybe one of the many advice that they will give you, one of it will be drink more water. Because what happens if you don't drink enough water? The water coming from the food, the undigested food, will be reabsorbed. Okay, will be reabsorbed at the large intestine. So it will make the feces become hard. So when you drink enough water, the water will the reabsorption water will won't be too much. So the feces will be just fine. Okay, or maybe in the case of people who have diarrhea, maybe it's caused by bacteria or any microorganism that enter through your digestive system, through the food, through the contaminated food. So this bacteria actually might irritate your large intestine in some ways. So it kind of inhibit the reabsorption process. Okay, so reabsorption of water at the large intestine. So that is one way why people who have diarrhea actually will have a very liquidy feces, or however you call it. Okay, so but number one, the most important thing, you should be able to know that at the large intestine, the absorption of water, mineral salts, and other vitamin occur at the large intestine. Okay, all right. So next one. So what happened next is the formation of feces. After the water is being absorbed, the remaining waste, the one that cannot be absorbed, the one that cannot be digested, it will be semi-solid, and that is what we call as feces. Okay, feces contain dead cell from the inner layer of the intestine, waste products such as bile, pigment, bacteria, and toxic substance. Okay, so the walls of the large intestine actually has the ability to secrete mucus. You've learned before, mucus is actually a substance that actually help to protect the inner wall of the alimentary canal. So same goes to the large intestine. This mucus will help smoothen. Okay, it will help smoothen the and then so that the movement of feces will be smooth, and it can go to the anus. All right. So the movement of feces takes about 12 to 24 hours. Okay, it's not that after you eat, after you had your lunch, it will be straight away processed and go to the rectum to be stored there. It's actually takes quite a long time. Okay, so it takes about 12 to 24 hours before entering the rectum. All right, so at the rectum, what happened is the feces will accumulate. Okay, it's not that after you eat, it will just go away and expel the feces. It's not that. It will be it will be accumulate first. It will be accumulate in the rectum, so that you don't have to go to the toilet every single time after you eat. Okay, so rectum will store the feces, and then until it reach certain amount that it start to exert pressure. Okay, when it start to exert a high pressure at the wall of the rectum, when it start to increase the pressure, it will triggers our nervous system to kind of give the urge to us to expel the feces from the body. Okay, and then what happened, the rectum muscle will contract and expel the feces from the anus. This process is called defecation. Again, that's what happened to all of those undigested food. It will be expelled from your body. Okay, and then you will continue eat new thing, and the whole process will start to begin again, starting from the digestion in the mouth, the absorption, the assimilation, and last but not least, this is the last thing that happened to all those undigested food, which is defecation. So yeah, it's very simple and quick. I do hope you do understand about this process. Okay, and let me know if you do have question. Okay, thank